Thanks for tuning into our podcast. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Welcome to the Parafair today. And today we have a very interesting guest that we are going to interview. Her name is Cassandra McClure. And Cassandra McClure is an entrepreneur in the beauty industry with passion and commitment to clean beauty products. So it's very interesting as we will sit down with her and talk about some things that really, be honest with you, I just think it can help anyone that's going to really, enhance their life with their beauty products. This is something you should listen to. And even if you don't listen to it, some things that like we bring the guests on the Parafair to motivate you and get you moving in the right direction. She has a lot of great things to say about moving in the right direction. So let's enjoy our interview.
Yep. It sure is. Yep. Well, I'm super excited to be here on the Parafair today, and I can't wait to chat with you about everything we're doing and how we can also help each other and work together. So this is an honor. Yep. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for making time for us. But my first question I have for you is, how do you advertise your business to make sure that it just keeps growing and growing?
Good question. I think showing up every day, consistency is so very important. Yeah. And I do my best to show up. And so when I'm online, I tried to go live. I went live this morning. I tried to show up in my stories. So I do that. And I'm always updating my website to reflect what's going on. Like I just told you, we had a little pivot shift in our launch for one of our new products. And so we're pivoting quickly. And as if you're small, that can be a huge benefit in times like this.
It is. Do you feel that like when you're advertising, and like what social media platform have you really enjoyed the most, and which one is like just so hard, but you need to be on that one? Which one do you enjoy the most? Which one is hard? Myself, I enjoy Instagram a lot. I don't enjoy Twitter as much for some reason.
Yeah, I know. I think we all have an issue with Twitter right now. So I have always loved Instagram. And I think for me, it's challenging because the hashtags are changing. You need to keep an aesthetically pleasing feed. And so that can be challenging. So you're pre-scheduling, and that takes a lot of time. And show up in your story every day, you have to, as a woman, it takes a little bit more time to look presentable. And, sometimes you need to write out your bullet points of things you're going to talk about. And when tough situations arise like this that we're going through as a world, really, you really need to be careful with what you say, but also have a really powerful message. And so it's you're always kind of navigating. And so it's a beautiful thing. And, I think it can do a lot of good. And I think Instagram, I have around 12,000 or so people on there. And that is definitely my largest following. And I think it's just because I'm younger. And like I said, I'm showing up on that platform every single day.
Have you tried Twitch?
We do stream to Twitch. So when I do my podcast, sometimes I stream on there. But I think that's like for gamers though too, right?
This Switch, it's changing. I thought so, and I follow these people who sing, and they do a lot of talking and just going about their day. And but I don't understand it. I don't understand the coins and all that other stuff. So just like I said, it's so much to learn on these different platforms, and so I just thought Twitch might be great for you too, because I see this one lady. She's on there and she's just doing amazing things. So you want to look into Twitch. I thought it was just for gamers too, but it's changing. A lot of people have like dialogues like you about your virtual beauty stuff, and so I think it might be something you can look into to enhance your
absolutely. I signed up, and I do. I have been using it and streaming things to that, and I will say that a lot of people are not aware that TikTok is not a US-based company, and our information can be at risk on there. And so although I started one and even some of my posts went viral with 100,000 views, I've actually decided to take a step back from TikTok and focus on Instagram and Facebook, which are US based businesses. Anything, overseas that, other countries, they just don't have the same governance as we do. And it can be very scary because they can do a lot with our information that we don't technically approve of. And so I've really been looking into that. And although I have promoted it, I have made videos, I've even put them up on my Instagram. Once I found out about what was going on and what potentially could be used against me in the future, I decided that I will not be using the platform anymore. And it's just interesting because you see all these celebrities and you think that it's okay because all these people are using it. But in fact, who knows if they're being paid to use it? Who knows if they're being endorsed to use the platform? So it can be a little iffy. So I'm stepping away from that one. Although it is very fun. I get it.
It is.
I'm not
If I need a good laugh, that's where I go, to TikTok. If I need something, I'm having a stressful day, I go there just to unwind, just to see some things, to laugh, sing. But now that you educated me about TikTok, I got to really think about that a little bit more, because when my live stream at night, that's one of the places I go and talk about some things that are trending. But
yeah,
thanks.
I think for watching videos, you're right. That is a good point. It's definitely a place where, it's fun and you can almost get sucked into the stream, but
with your privacy, that makes me I don't know. Next question I have for you is, you talked about showing up, being there every day, and doing what you're supposed to do. But what is unique about your business from another business that's your competitors? What is unique about it?
So I've never compared myself to anybody. And I think that's so important when you're an entrepreneur. If you start looking around, you start to play the compare game, and you can get really down on yourself, and you can start to compare when it's not fair. You don't know how long they've been in business or what kind of connections they have. And so for me personally, I started as a makeup artist. I was a hardworking makeup artist, and I worked my way up as a model to a makeup artist, and went to school twice in 2 different countries for beauty. And I trained with some of the best in the world. And then I took a step back once I had my health issues. Mm-hmm. And not every makeup artist has experienced vision loss and psoriasis and severe allergies. So when my life was changed and I wound up in the hospital, and I found out that fragrance was triggering my sinuses, my redness, my acne, my breakouts, and I decided to look up clean beauty and find more out about it. And I was in the process of starting a podcast. I knew that that's when I needed to change the name of my podcast and the subject of my podcast, right, to not just beauty, but clean beauty. So I niched down, and then I was also working as a sustainable director for sustainableproject.org at the time. And my job was to find sustainable brands and bring them to my community. And with sustainability and clean, finding them and merging them together, it became clean and green. And I didn't want to go, so it niched me down even more. And as a celebrity artist, mm-hmm, using these clean products, I'm counting on them, and I'm evaluating them to make sure that they're high performing, they're US made, and I am all about supporting women-owned businesses, because in the United States, women make around 20 to 30% less than most men, and there's not as many CEOs, and there's not as many women doing, there's oppression in so many sectors, and women have fought, just as so many others, for their rights. And so I just want to raise up women when I can. And so that's what we decided to do. And so I think all those things combined have really niched me into this woman, almost like feminist, US, proud USA, clean and green beauty, true clean beauty, which is like clean ingredients, also, ethical practices, and making sure that, you're also giving back. And I've always made sure that the brands that I'm working with are either giving back to a planet or an organization or a .org. I just think it's so important to give when you are receiving. Right. And I'm a gifter. I'm a love, that's one of my love languages. My main one is gifting, which is why I created a box, because for me, everybody I've ever met has received something from me. I appreciate everybody, and I try to give back. And I mean, all through my career, I look back at the little goodie bags I would give to people when I first met them, and I handwrite cards. It's one of my things. Like, it's just part of who I am. And now that we're launching a box, it just makes so much sense. Like, why didn't I think of this before? Like, I want to share clean beauty with people how I can. And through a kit is such a great way because you're getting so many products for way less money. A lot of people don't have the money to spend right now, right? And they have to maybe resort to going to the dollar store for their shampoo, or, they're in a low income area and can't afford product. And I think it's important that we should all have access to clean beauty. It shouldn't be based on how much money we make or what, sector of America we're in. Like, we should all have access, and just like to clean water, just like to protection from being an American. Like, we're supposed to be like the best country in the world. And so I think all of that's very important.
That's so true. I know I was going through your Instagram and I noticed you did get a box, and I saw the look in your eyes when you got the card, and it's just people don't send cards, and I saw the excitement that you got when you got the card. I think you like the card better than the actual stuff in the box. And so we have this lady, Atelier. She's pretty cool. If you ever, I'll send a link to her. She does a lot of cards and writing and stuff, and she's based here in California. She does a lot of just amazing stuff. So I'll have to send you her link, and it's just really clean and really nice what she does. So I had her on the show, and she's just a nice lady, and she reminds me a lot of you. But as we continue, this is the part I don't want to jump in, but have you ever had to turn down a client for various reasons? And you don't have to say their names or whatnot, but just...
Sure. Yeah. No, I don't like to put anyone on blast. And, going into clean beauty, for instance, it was hard because, I had to let go of some of the brands that I was using for all my life and recommending to my own mom, my own family. And so when the shift started to happen, and for me, it was very quick. I was in the hospital one day. The next day I was like, okay, I'm allergic to these things. I can't spray hairspray. I can't use these products on my skin. I saw that they broke me out, and I saw when I didn't use them that it made me better. So hello, I'm not going to use them anymore. So I'm not going to support those brands that have synthetic fragrance, that contain formaldehyde. Like, I just don't want to use them. So when I had certain brides contact me, and I had rebranded my website a little bit, and I was starting to let them know, hey, I'm happy to work with you, but if you're going to be working with a hairstylist at your wedding that is going to be using aerosol hairsprays and we're all confined into one room, I'm not going to be able to be on site with you because it affects my allergies to a point where my eyes are watering and I can't breathe very well. So, I have to let you know. And some of them were super offended. Some of them understood and they went elsewhere. And some of them actually rethought their whole wedding and said, I didn't know about this. I want to actually have all clean artists at my wedding. So it went both ways, but 90%, I lost a lot of business the first year because I did have people that were saying, oh, I'm not going to use clean beauty. I don't trust that it's going to work and last all day. I have a wedding to attend. I'm not going to risk not using my long lasting products I know that work like really well. And that basically it's like stage makeup. It's like makeup you see when you go to Vegas. It's waterproof because they're crying. It's this, it's that. Mm-hmm. And so, there was a loss. There definitely was. But I stuck to my guns. I stuck to what was true to me. And in the end, I mean, now I'm doing what I'm doing now, and I've been successful, and I lead this community. So I think if you stand up for what's right, eventually you will be rewarded, or your offspring or your community will benefit.
You said you lost 90% of your clients. Was there any dark day you like, did I really make the right decision, or should I just go back? And I know I have to deal with it. I know I have health issues, but I need the income coming in. There's any part that was a dark day that you like, I got to just stick to my guns, or what made you overcome those 90%? Like, don't worry about it. I'll get more. That's the faith that you have to have, I imagine.
Yeah, faith. It really is. I will say that there was a day where I got called to do makeup, and I was thinking, okay, here's another person that wants me to go use all these unclean products. And when I knew that I felt selfish because it's my health, right? It's not about them, and they want the makeup that they want. And so I should be able to provide that for them. So I had a box of product that I didn't want to get rid of yet because it was higher performing. I hadn't found suitable replacements for it yet. It was like some concealer and a setting spray and some eyeliner and stuff. And I went to the woman's house and we started doing this tutorial. She's like, yeah, I found you. And I was really excited because I can't wait to try all this clean beauty. And I was like, okay, this is a sign. I brought these things over thinking that I needed to show her and use these products on her to make her happy. But really now I'm getting sought out for being a clean beauty artist. So after that day, I got rid of those other products and I never felt guilty again because I knew that I was making the right choice and that and people would find me if I used the right branding, the right messaging, the right hashtags, the right website information that said, hey, this is clean, but it's also super high performing. And I promise it'll work and it'll last the same amount of time. And doing tutorials with the makeup and showing how it works and just educating, and I've always came from the education standpoint. Like I did this for health, but this is really actually better products and it's better packaging. It's cleaner for the environment, for our oceans, for our land. And so I had 40 weddings the year that I got sick. And the next year I had under 10. So it was a huge gouge in business. But from there, my podcast was born and Lash Binder, my product, was born. And although we were in the red some months and we weren't profiting right away, I knew that it was a bigger plan. I knew that it was right. I really wanted to spread the message and it wasn't about money. It never was about money, even when I was doing makeup. It was great when I got a paycheck, but I didn't go to work to get a paycheck. I've always been an entrepreneur and I've done I was a makeup artist because I liked making other women and men feel amazing and make them look good. And I have an eye for that. And I can look at someone's skin and in 5 seconds know what that skin needs. And that's one of my gifts. And so I wanted to continue to do that. But what I noticed is when I dwindled down my client base, they were willing to pay more. So I was able to raise my prices, which is what I always wanted, but I didn't know how. But because of the demand and my dedication to the podcast and my business, my clean beauty business with Beauty Counter and Lash Binder, I was like, I only have this limited amount of time and I also need to spend time with my family, which is very important. So now my day rate is this amount, which was 4 times the amount, and people would pay it without even thinking about it because they wanted clean beauty. So it actually worked out in the end, but it was 1 or 2 years of hardship. Yeah, absolutely.
That is true. It's amazing how you scale down your clients and you had to raise up your rate. And the last question I have for you, and this is something we all get some advice throughout life, but what's one piece of advice you would give someone who is starting out on any kind of business? What kind of advice would you give them that they would, they can hold on for the rest of their life?
Yeah, so I am a business coach. I do consulting and I do free consulting for women in business. And one thing that a lot of them ask is, how do I start a beauty brand? And I get that question a lot. And I get the question of, what do you think of this idea? And I always ask them, is this needed? Did you create this or want this out of a need? I have never created anything because other people were doing it. In fact, that's why I didn't launch my beauty podcast, because I was looking around and seeing so many other beauty podcasts and thinking, who needs another one? I know I'm different and I know my voice is unique and I know all of that, but is it necessary? Is it needed? And I was struggling with that. And I was asking God for guidance. And when I got sick and I knew, and my fiance said, clean beauty, if it's not a podcast, like that has to be you. And so it made sense that day. Sometimes things just happen and you just know that's what I've been waiting for. And with Lash Binder, it was the same thing. I saw a need because people weren't able to apply lashes and they were having trouble. And I want to solve that problem. And the same thing for the subscription box. When I started looking at clean and green beauty subscription boxes, I was like, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. But then I started looking at the unique aspect that I have in my story with health and being a professional makeup artist. And I said, this can be the first professional grade approved makeup box in the world. And so we're launching that in July. So I was like, what is needed? You know, in my makeup artist community, I have so many makeup artists in my community, estheticians, salon owners, and they all want to know what I'm using because they know I'm a professional. And so I thought, oh gosh, this is it. And the box was another hardship that it took me days, weeks to really say, is this needed? And I had to figure out that niche that was. And so that's what I tell people, like, don't just do it. The world doesn't need another lipstick. That's what I always say, because we don't. We need something new. We need something innovative. We need something that has meaning, you know, that's never been done before. And there are things out there, and people think, oh, everything's already been done, but that's not creativity. You know, maybe you're not set up to be an entrepreneur, you know, like, it's hard work and you're not always going to make money. And, you know, I've trained girls, and they've sometimes have wanted to start an Instagram account, and then they're like, how come the followers aren't happening? And I'm like, you haven't really created the content yet. You have to share and you have to wait. It's patience. And so patience and finding your niche and finding your true calling is where you should start, you know, and your true passion, because it'll always come through.
It'll always come through. Well, thank you again for dropping by today and sharing all this wisdom with me. Last thing, not the last thing, but you keep mentioning this box, and what is it? If I didn't know, I kind of know what the box is, but what is this box that you just keep telling me about? What is this box?
So the Clean Beauty Kit is the first professionally approved, makeup professional approved subscription. And it's called a kit because we don't call our professional makeup kit a kit. And it's because it has all the things that we need to perform as a makeup artist. And boxes are very popular, so I say box just to let people know it is a subscription. It comes in a box. But I wanted something for professionals to be able to rely on, whether it's skincare, makeup, wellness items that I have used, loved, and really have vetted to be in this special tea box. So you get $100 to $200 worth of product for under $50, and you can get it on a monthly or bi-monthly basis and get to try new full-size products sent to your home safely right now, especially. So that's what it is. And we're launching that on July 4th, our pre-launch.
That's cool. Well, thank you again. Continue success with the box, and please let me know if you need anything, any support whatsoever. And thank you for coming by the Parafair. Okay. Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you so much, George. And for anyone who wants to check out more about me, please follow me at Cassandra McClure or go to CassandraMcClure.com.
Yeah, please check her out on Instagram. She has some funny little posts with her dog, and it's just cute. All right. Thank you again, Cassandra.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. I want to thank Cassandra McClure again for dropping by the Parafair, and make sure that you follow her on Instagram, Facebook. Make sure that you reach out to her and get one of her boxes that she is at this time. She is, has a great deal about these boxes. Make sure you send her questions and whatever you have to do to get in contact with her. Great person, great energy. It can only help you in your life. So thank you for joining us on Fair, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
This week's episode has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.